Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us for this session. I was very pleased that the Chancellor agreed to warm us up here, so thank you very much for those comments. When Microsoft thinks about financial services and AI, we really think first about our partners and our customers and how we can build with them and bring their expertise to our platform. So I'm really pleased to be joined today by Nej Jalal, Group Head of Workspace Platform at LSEG, and Laura Hutton, Chief Customer Advocate at Quantexa. And what we're going to do is dive into some of the work that Microsoft is doing with LSEG and Microsoft is doing with Quantexa to bring to life the possibilities of AI in financial services. So we love working with Quantexa and with LSEG because it provides an opportunity for Microsoft to get closer to the industry problems, the jobs to be done, the personas, and the regulatory context in financial services. It brings the opportunity for Microsoft's widely adopted cloud and AI and collaboration platforms to be brought more surgically into the jobs to be done in financial services. So what I want to do briefly is give you a way of thinking about the opportunity set for AI in financial services, and then hear from Nej and hear from Laura about how they're bringing that to life with the work they're doing across this market. So we believe at Microsoft, firstly, AI in financial services starts with the employee experience. There is really incredible opportunity when we take human ambition and human innovation and ally that with generative AI technologies that we've seen emerge and innovate over the last couple of years. The opportunity really is the democratization of silos of industry information, internal to the organization, external to the organization, connecting that to knowledge workers to help them be more productive at scale. And the flip side of that is customer engagement, externalizing your AI know-how, your capability into your products, into your customer experience to deliver more personalized experiences and greater efficiency. Then, firms will think about reshaping business processes. This requires more fundamental rewiring, but the opportunity now is to think about AI-first business processes. What can be done by agents and AI technologies first, then bringing in human activity when required. And then we can think about bending the curve on innovation. At Microsoft, we think about innovation in terms of our ability to ship code. The faster that we can do that, the faster we can turn around product, we can get feedback from the market, we can iterate, and we can speed up our time to market and our innovation. And we find now, a third of the code in Microsoft new products is now written by generative AI technology. So I appreciate we all love a framework, but I really want to bring this to life more directly and go first to Nej to hear about some of the innovations and the development that you're working on in the partnership between LSEG and Microsoft, and perhaps maybe starting with a little bit of context on that partnership. Nej.
Neil, thank you very much. So Nej Jalal, and delighted to be here. I've got a background in building customer-centric products, spent many years at Goldman Sachs, Barclays, UBS, and now I've got the privilege to run the London Stock Exchange Group's flagship platform that is customer-facing, we call Workspace. And our mission is very clear. It's about how we help our customers across the investment and the trade lifecycle make decisions, powered by two of our key value propositions. Number one, leading content, and the second is workflow expertise. So with that context, Neil has asked me to provide a couple of examples of how we're leaning into both the employee and the customer experience. Now, I just said I run a customer-facing platform, so actually both are going to be aligned with customer experience, but the first is applicable to employee experience as well. And it's not going to shock you in terms of a use case, but actually when you think about the regulatory bar that we need to meet for financial services, it's a non-trivial exercise to introduce large language models and to effectively drive adoption across effectively the buy side and the sell side. So just keep that in mind. So the problem statement's very clear, and this is a familiar one. customer-facing employees, and specifically we were focusing on bankers, spend significant amounts of time in preparing for meetings. They want those meetings to be as impactful as possible. But if you think about in certainly financial services, B2B, what that workflow looks like, you're effectively consolidating significant amounts of data. It could be financial, could be proprietary, CRM data, and so on. And the effort often takes hours, if not on some occasions days. And that's the consolidation exercise, and then you've got to do something with it. Synthesize it, visualize it, analyze it, and then make it relevant in terms of the impact that you want to achieve in your meeting. So essentially, working with Microsoft, we had an opportunity to work with customers that are already users of Microsoft Teams. And we effectively used a large language model to consolidate a report in seconds. Really simple, but highly effective in terms of demonstrating the before and after. Hours of time to consolidate fragmented sources of information versus seconds to produce a report that consolidates news, company information, the potential for customers to integrate their own proprietary data, and AI-based summaries. So we call that financial meeting prep. And it's not just the what, it genuinely is about the how. We're on a mission at the London Stock Exchange Group in the partnership with Microsoft to also deliver iteratively to ensure that we are design-led as we think about how we perform research and we integrate that feedback into our customers' needs and pain points. And so the way in which this type of experience will evolve will be quite actually obvious and inevitable. And what I mean by that is customers like the value proposition, but they just want more data. So it could be private market data, it could be broker data, it could be more insights from a proprietary perspective. In addition, they want more flexibility, both in retrieving the information through clearly natural language, but also how do you systematize key questions that you want to ask and just press one button, but also the output formats as well, whether it's PDF or PowerPoint and so on. So that's financial meeting prep. The second use case I'll briefly mention, again, I'll start with the problem statement. In financial services today, our customers across the investment and the trade life cycle need access to particular types of workflows with three key elements. The first is content, the second is all about utility, could be trading, could be analytics, could be some kind of calculator, and the third, which is really at the heart, is community. And what I'm going to talk briefly about is a solution that focuses on a collaboration experience for a community. For many years, the financial services industry has lacked alternative providers of chat services, which is due to essentially closed chat network experiences. So with Microsoft and rolling out Teams, we know post-COVID, both the buy side and the sell side have heavily adopted Microsoft Teams. And what's happened in the meantime is the Teams experience has gone from solely being chat to one that is immersive, one that allows you to discover content. Why is that relevant? Because as we work with Microsoft to deliver an alternative chat platform to professionals in financial services, we are also working on integrating content that will be seamlessly discoverable through Copilot experiences. Agents that will perform tasks, that will derive specialist information, whether it's transaction cost analysis, analytics types of information, or it's access to research, or it's company data. So we're really excited about both of these initiatives, and clearly there's a lot more I could tell you about, but I will pause there. Back to you, Niall.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nej, for bringing to life some of those really tangible examples when we think about enriching employee experience and reinventing customer engagement using AI. And really what I think came through there was what I was saying at the top of this session. What we love at Microsoft in terms of working in financial services is the opportunity to partner with our customers and with our partners and to take advantage of the extensibility frameworks of our cloud and AI platforms and to integrate so that we can bring our scale platforms really sharply into these targeted personas that Nej was describing, front office bankers, relationship managers, and bringing teams in a more industry-specific setting. So thanks, Nej, for bringing those to life. Laura, I want to go to you and go deeper into the stack and think about some of the work that Quantexa does with Microsoft, building on our platform, innovating using our technology to reshape business processes, to bend the curve on innovation, and to set some of the data foundations for AI experiences.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so my name's Laura Hutton. I'm one of the co-founders of Quantexa, and we have the privilege of being one of the UK tech unicorns that the Chancellor spoke about, and we're very proud of that. When we founded Quantexa back in 2016, our objective was to help our clients use the vast volume data assets that they had at their disposal, both internal and external, to help them make better business decisions, to help them reshape how they make decisions and with what information they actually make those decisions. In the 9 years since Quantexa was founded, we have been adopted by enterprise organizations across banking, financial services, government, telecommunications and beyond to help in that decision making, to create a unified view of people, businesses, customers, counterparties, all of the things that you interact with, and understand the context that exists around those, so that when you are making a decision about whether you need to protect or indeed to grow, that you have that asset at your disposal. So when we talk about innovation, I think a lot of people like to talk about AI. What I like to talk about actually is about how do you enable your AI initiatives that are coming from the board level to actually be successful. And for us, that starts with getting that trusted data foundation upon which all of your AI decision-making can actually operate. And those that don't get that right in the first place will really find it very, very difficult to successfully execute on their AI. So, over the last 9 years, we've worked in partnership with the likes of Microsoft, helping our clients roll out this concept of a unified view of their data, leveraging Azure, so that they can make those trusted decisions across their enterprise, whether it be to protect against financial crime risk, fraud risk, credit risk, whether it be to optimize, to make their business processes more efficient, or indeed whether it is to grow, to really attract and retain some of those new customers. Over the last couple of years, I think it's fair to say that AI has well and truly hit the headlines. I will caveat that it's been there for the last 20 years, but it's certainly more accessible, or it's seen, and there's a desire for all organizations, whether large or small, to adopt that and to use AI as part of their decision-making processes. And I think that gave Microsoft and Quantexa jointly a unique opportunity to take the concepts that we had successfully delivered upon for some of those really enterprise-wide clients, and to be able to take that and make that accessible for all organizations. So you'll see the first point on the screen there is around Quantexa Unify for Microsoft Fabric, a workload on Fabric that is taking that concept of contextualizing and unifying the data to drive and reshape business decision making, and to take that to all organizations, to be able to offer democratized access to this joined up view of the world, so that no matter whatever size of organization, in whatever industry you operate, you have the ability to be able to see that trusted view of the world, so that all of your decision making, whether AI enabled or not, is based on a true view of who your customers and counterparties or any other types of businesses and people are. And that's been really, really exciting for us. You know, as we grow as an organization, you know, yes, we support some of those largest organizations, and becoming that trusted foundation has really helped us exponentially grow into that UK unicorn. But as we look to our future as Quantexa, actually the growth for us goes beyond those very large enterprise. It's about empowering all organizations to be able to adopt the innovations and to be able to use that successfully in their businesses. One other thing, and because I feel that we're going to get our wrap up fairly quickly, one other thing I wanted to touch on is actually how we're applying that horizontal capability, or that joined up view of the world, to actually drive better decision making within an application. And a really nice example of that is the work we've been doing with Microsoft around fighting financial crime. Obviously, we know it's something that we all know we need to do, and a lot of the traditional approaches are really quite outdated. And it's not easy, but it's certainly easier for some of those large organizations who have large budgets to be able to adopt these AI-enabled capabilities and to adopt Quantexa and Microsoft as their foundation. Just like we wanted to do through the Unify, on the workload on Fabric, we wanted to be able to bring that next generation capability at the analytics and detection layer to some of those more mid-sized organizations, those who are crying out to do something different and to do it better, to be more effective, to be more efficient. And our partnership with Microsoft, rolling out a SaaS-enabled capability, offering an end-to-end anti-money laundering solution, I think is really offering things like the mid-sized banks within the US a groundbreaking approach to tackling their financial crime in a way that actually suits how they do business. And that is through that SaaS capability. So my summary here is that I think there's an opportunity for partnerships such as ourselves and Quantexa, such as Microsoft and Quantexa, to come together and to bring the best of the capability and the best of the innovation that is available. Organizations really ought not to be competing. They really ought to be partnering so that we have this integrated, sophisticated ecosystem that allows organizations to choose the best capability for the business problem that they want to solve for. And for me, that's how innovation scales. That's how we prepare organizations for the future.
Thanks very much, Laura. So we're going to wrap there. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, hearing about these interesting examples of AI innovation in financial services with Microsoft's partnership with LSEG, our partnership with Quantexa. Please do visit our booth down there. We've got a Microsoft LSEG joint booth. Quantexa's just opposite. And listen out, look out for product releases in the near term from these really exciting partnerships. Thank you to Nej, thank you to Laura.